Hey, Jim, I know you'd said that you wanted to see that property today, but it came on the market yesterday and it sold yesterday with for four competing offers. I know that the news said the market's down, but this one sold and it looks like it sold no conditions, $100,000 over asking price. Yeah, I know that they increased the interest rate and they're talking about increasing it higher in September, but yeah, it's gone. Yeah, they denied our showing. With the hundreds of people that are searching on my home search website, I talk about this all the time and why most reports are wrong about the Calgary real estate market. And and why they're almost always wrong. And the reason why is because they're using a metric that doesn't make any sense. And this is an article that was posted about the Canadian real estate market. Somebody sent it to me and said, "Did you know that everything's down?" And I said, well, really? Okay. And this one says $355,000. I think they put a headline in there to make everybody compelled to read the article. But then they say here that prices fell $27,000. Well, and then I get the contrary of the real experience for the buyers on the site is they procrastinate. Maybe they don't want to see a property right away, and they think, well, I got some time, and then the property sells, and it sells within the same day, and that's going on from right in the median price right up onto some of the higher end homes that are selling. Um, and the thing that they're talking about here is Canadian real estate prices fell down from the peak. Now, when they say prices, they should have said average sale price, and they should have said the buyers are buying at 27,000 less than they were buying before. That has no indication of what the actual prices are on the homes that they're buying, by the way. And they say the typical home across the country, making a sharp drop. But they never in here define what the typical home is, and there's no parameters for what that means. So basically, what they're doing is they're going off average sale price, which is a lot of what the reports are reporting. And I'm going to explain to you in this video why average sale price is a poor indicator to understand what's actually happening with real estate prices. Okay, so what I want to be doing is talking about how property class could affect the average sale price in the market. And so you see, when they tried to lump in apartment condos, single family homes, townhomes, and luxury homes into the same report, what can happen to the average sale price? We're going to talk about that. Okay, so let's assume, for example, that we had 600 condos that averaged 240,000 that sold in a particular month. And let's say we had 400 townhomes that sold at 400,000 in a particular month. And then let's say we had 500 single family homes that sold at $650,000. Now, if we would have an average sale price of $304,216. Now let's change the numbers, but not change the number of the property prices, but change the weighted average of each property category. Let's look at 200 condos average of 240,000 instead of 600. Let's say that instead of 400 townhomes sold at 400,000, that 300 townhomes sold at 400,000. And let's say instead of selling 500 single family homes, we sold 1,000 single family homes at the same price. It's kind of an extreme example, but what might happen with all this mix? Okay, so we come up with an average sale price of $545,333. Now that is an extreme example of how property class could be affecting the average sale price and why average sale price is really not a great metric to use. But let's give us another example of even a more extreme case. Okay, so let's say we had 400 bungalows sold at 400,000, and we had 1,000 two-story homes that sold at 650,000. And let's say that we had on a given month 25 4,000 square foot homes that sold at $3 million. Okay, our average would be $621,052 with the average sale price. Now let's just assume that a lot of things stayed the same, that actually we sold the same amount of bungalows at the same price, and we sold the same amount of two-story homes at the same price, 1,000 again. But let's assume that we had a really good month and we sold 100 homes that were 4,000 square foot homes, but big but here, the prices of those high-end homes went down. We sold them at 2 million. We gave everybody a discount because the market wasn't so good, and the price was down a third. The market average went up to 673,000. It showed that the price went up $50,000. Now that's an extreme example, but you can just see about how this average sale metric just really doesn't work very well for doing these kinds of comparisons. And so why you actually need an agent to do some reflection on what's going on in the area. And now I want to discuss about how interest rates might be affecting all of this. Let's say we got buyers buying property groups. They tend to buy, we've got people, let's say we had a group that were buying from 600 to 700,000. And we have a group that's buying between 600 and 500,000. And we have 500 to 400,000, which is a property group. And then we got a lower property group, which is basically, townhome condos. And, the interest rates may not be affecting these prices, but may just change the properties in which the buyers can actually buy. And that might be a significant part. Now let's look in Calgary, let's look at let's look at this year. Okay. But I want to I want to pick a property class, because the thing is, if I try to pick everything like they do in all of the examples, what happens? Okay. We have a scenario where we get a lot of mixed results. So if I pick a property class and do a search, and I did a search here, just residential, only two-story homes, only homes that sold in Calgary, only that had a front attached garage, and were not finished in the basement, and were not walkout basements. And I also wanted to look at only homes that sold between 1,700 and 2,000 square feet. Now that really limits down to what's happening in the market. This is probably one of the most properties that sell in Calgary. I would say that this particular style of home is built, as you know, all over the city, and it's probably one of the most popular properties that we would sell. I would say there's more inventory of this than anything else in the total market. Okay. So here's the statistics from this particular time frame. And what we've got is I wanted to go back and start with April, May, June, and this is how the statuses are presented. It sold for 163. You can see that the square footage, minimum square footage was 1,700, and the maximum was 1,993, and so it's in that range. The average was 1,853 square feet. The average sale price was 598, which was 101% of asking price. Then between April, May, and June, the market was pretty hot, and we've got 20 days on average on market. The median price, and what this means is where most of the buyers were, but it should be very similar with this, the way we're doing this. Okay, so if we go to July, we can see that between 598 is an average price, and 594 didn't change much. The median price actually went down, but the average price went up. So probably means nothing. It means the market's very similar. And July, the days on market went up to from 20 to 39. There's two numbers here. One's days on market, one's combined days on market, which means that what it means is that combined days means if they were relisted and put on the market. So that's the average. It actually doubled the amount of days. So there was really no change in July. And in August, we went to an average sale price out of 32 sales to 574. And that was at 28 days on average. And 564 on the solds, and then here back in the last 30 days, we're back to 592 again. So we can't really count this. This is going to be kind of a combined number here because I went back 30 days, because 20 days just isn't enough days in September to go by this. But this gives us an idea between these two numbers even. So not a significant change in these numbers, not enough at least for us to assume that the market's gone down. Matter of fact, it's remained pretty constant, and that flies in the face of all the people who say interest rates have changed the market, and they really haven't. And it comes back to this supply and demand issue. And the fact is that we really are in a situation, especially here, that building costs, new inventory, and our problem really is new inventory. We just don't have the amount of listings that we'd like to have as far as to show new buyers, or even buyers that are repurchasing at a higher level or even a lower level. So the inventory seems to be the issue, and it seems to be no way in which the builders could lower their prices on new builds, which I think affects the pre-owned market as well. If we could somehow find inventory, I think that would be a great thing to reduce prices. Of course, in every market that I've been in where there was lower prices of the market seemed to drop, there was an abundance of listings, and that's just not the case right now. We're having to go out and show one house at a time, two houses at a time. We can't show 10 homes, and then go back a week later and show the best three, and in a category for a buyer, and then turn around and make a lower offer. It's just not the market we're in. And so, based on the amount of listings in this particular category, which is a very popular category, we really got, when I do the search on actives, we got 54 listings. So that translates for this particular property class, it's 32. If we're selling about 32 a month in that range, and we've got how many listings on the market? 54. That's anywhere between 20, and that's 2 months supply. It's not very many. So some homes are priced really well, and of course they sell really quick. I mean, when we're looking at days on market, the majority of the properties are not on the market for a long period of time. We've got some people, trying to play the lottery, and they're trying to see if they can win based on the market as it is. But that's not the majority. And of course, for you, the buyer or the seller, it's really hard to figure out based on looking at active listings what's really going on. And some of them are properly priced, and some of them are not. And you're not going to know that from the active listings. You're going to be looking at pictures and thinking that you know everything from the pictures. And of course, as we know with pictures, you get to the house and it's not even similar to what they're advertising. Once you look closely, the corners are tattered and worn. Now, if this property class doesn't fit with what you're looking for, or you want another evaluation, if you want it on your personal home, shoot me a message. If you want to have just another report run on apartments, condos, townhomes, all different property classes, look on my channel or shoot me a message to create one. If you've got a specific question regarding which way the backyards face, there's lots of questions regarding real estate. I'd certainly be happy to help you out finding out what the ultimate value, even on a single property that you're thinking about purchasing. So with that said, good luck and happy search.